Happy Women's Day to everyone. It's just such a great pleasure to have you here with us. I couldn't wait. I had to work in the morning, but just I was just counting every hour to be here with you. So thank you very much for joining us. Hello to our audience and happy Women's Day to everyone. And here my special guests, Anita Shukla from Germany, Jitendra Srivastava from India, Kubra Ozguvens from Belgium, and our global chair, Mari Intruini. Hopefully, Phyllis Ayman will be joining us as well soon. And unfortunately, one of the speakers couldn't make it, Anne Boss from France. But there we are. We are 5 of us, and I am sure that event is going to be outstanding. So thank you very much once again. I thought maybe we can start with saying maybe just how we are and saying a few words to our audience before we start our speeches. Ma, would you like to say something to everyone?
Thank you. Thank you. I think it's the best way to start. All global advisor from G100, that is Jitendra. Thank you, Maggie, for taking into account to have a man to celebrate Women Day. We need a man. So thank you, Jitendra, for being there, supporting us, backing us all the time. Cobra from Belgium, that she's always give this metaphysical, this magical vision of what a woman is. Thank you, Cobra, for especially us, no, like myself, political analyst, or Anita, that is our dearest chair for Germany. That Anita also is innovation, technology. I am a political analyst, so we need that magic that you bring, Cobra, as well. And Maggie, thank you for uniting all of us in this event. And for me, International Women's Day, for the one who work all the time with women and men, for us, it's just another day. Because this is what we are. This is our job, that we take it as our job. And I love to say always, every year I say the same. For me, is Women Men International Day. Is to celebrate together the best way to find a place. So thank you, Maggie, for your motivation, your intentions, your initiatives, and your strength, because you have encouraged enough to unite us.
Thank you very much. Jitendra, would you like to say a few words to us? You are on mute, Jitendra. Jitendra, we cannot hear you. Jitendra, can you hear me? We still cannot hear you.
Yes, I can hear you. Yes. Okay, can you hear me now? Okay. Today, let me give my best wishes to all of you on this International Women's Day. Although personally I feel it's not Women's Day today, because it's Women's Day every day. And this is for you all lovely speakers here who inspire all other women and make them believe that they are in their own way a hero. That's how I think. You all are inspiring other women every day.
Thank you, Jitendra. As Mar said, we couldn't not have you with us today. You know, it's everyone is just so special. And as Mar said, it's just such a wonderful thing to unite everyone, to be at the same time, the same place, cherishing, you know, our presence in community. And, you know, it just as a he and Chi champion, we couldn't not have you here with us. So thank you very much, Mar, and thank you very much, Jitendra. Anita, would you like to say a few words?
Yes, happily. So, dear Maggie, thanks so much for organizing the event. Yes, so I'm just surprised how much is happening today. What I could see even all over the place globally, and that gives like hope and courage and so on. for sure. And for the talk, I just wanted to say I will talk in very brief about the current situation, EU, a bit on Germany and EU, and where we can go, and maybe to give some inspiration to women, especially women entrepreneurs, with technology, innovation, and AI. That's it in brief.
That's great, and when I found out what your speech is going to be about, this is exactly what I've been learning in the recent few weeks, and I said, that's spot on. This is what everyone needs to hear. So thank you, Anita, for being here with us today. Kubra, what's about you?
Dear Maggie and everyone, as the speaker wise and the listeners who are our guests today, welcome, and so happy to be here. Even though the start of 8th of March is a little bit tragic, I want to send light and love to all the women who created this revolution. And I'm so honored to be a part of this speech. I feel like I'm taking the flag, kind of in a way, at least, and like honoring their souls and supporting other women. And I want to thank to you, Maggie, for being the leader of today and leading this event, bringing us together to be a lighthouse. So much love.
Thank you. That's so sweet of you, Kubra. Thank you very much. And Phyllis, what's about you? Hello. So nice to have you here with us.
Oh, Maggie, thanks so much. I'm only going to reiterate what everyone else has said, how wonderful it is that you've organized this event, that you spearheaded it, you saw the need for it. And I'm so honored to be part of it with so many wonderful people from so many different countries, bringing our ideas and their light, and, seeing how together we can become a voice together to champion women, and also the issues that are important, not only to women, but to our global society.
Amen. That's great. Thank you. That was brilliant. I forgot to mention that as Mar was saying at the beginning, we combine not only us, but we combine continents. And me growing up I grew up in communist Poland. And I remember we couldn't travel abroad. We couldn't even hear news from abroad. And I was always so eager to be out there, to meet other people, to meet our other nationalities, and always wanted to treat the world as my house, with different rooms in it. So like America, where Phil is coming from, like my bedroom, and Kubra and Anita from Europe. It's from kind of like our kitchen, and Jitendra coming from India, our like lunch room, and Ma representing all of us as our global leader is just amazing. So I couldn't be happier than to have all of you joining this event and celebrating Happy Women's Day. So I thought that, first of all, I will share what inspired me to organize this event. Is the importance of acknowledging and embracing the amazing impact we all have around the world, that so often goes unnoticed or so often is being taken for granted. We are just so wired for what next, what else, whether it went well or not, about kind of like we're just so surrounded with the pressures that we are not acknowledging little miracles that are happening around us and little miracles that's happening for us. So I thought that having a mindful pause, having insightful, meaningful day, as Jitendra said, why to celebrate it today? Let's celebrate it every single day. Is great event to reflect on our greatness as we're doing today. So our great grandparents fought for us, fought for our rights so we can have a freedom of speech, freedom of gathering, and freedom of being authentic us now. With International Women's Day occurring for well over a century, with the first gathering held in 1911, let's not forget how inspirational our ancestors were towards us and how impactful we are on the younger generations. So welcome everyone once again. I'm just so happy to have you here. And the theme of this year International Women's Day is Inspire Inclusion. As it's not true that when we inspire others to understand and value women's inclusion, we forge a better world. And when women themselves are inspired to be included, there's a sense of belonging, empowerment, and relevance. It doesn't matter where we come from, what jobs we have, what positions we have, what ethnicity, age, race we have. We are all in it together, and together we thrive, together we equal, and together we are beautiful. So today is a day to recognize our achievements without regard to divisions, whether national, cultural, economic, or political. As won't you agree that women as the greatest asset of our communities, and women are mothers, leaders, healers, sisters, daughters, artists, teachers, coaches, we just so much and so much more. And women are true blessings. So all of those reasons made me celebrate today with all of you, as it wouldn't be the same day if I didn't host this event. So let's time for our individual speeches, shall we? First of all, I would like to invite Ma. So, one moment. So Ma is our leader, as we all know, global chair for global networking, a barista, blogger, political analyst, who as our leader with global goals is focused on building an innovative structure for the youth, an open platform of engagement based on authentic connection and ethical leadership. And today, Ma is going to be talking about the challenge to become local empowered and not globally equal. Thank you, Ma, for being with us. And we're ready for you. And let me know if you need any help and assistance.
Thank you, Maggie. Just if you my presentation, it's there on the backstage. If it's in the show, it would be great. No, this one is from Anita. This one. Okay, thank you so much. Well, the challenge became local empowered, not globally equal. I know that this may be quite challenging, not just to just the concept in itself. That's why I think you deserve that I give you an explanation on that. You know, so a clarification of what I mean by global, what I mean by local. We have in what is gender equality, we have in the last 40 years, we have a progress. And as always happened with big initiatives like this one, we see that we could advance in certain aspects, but not in others. And we face a new challenge. So I invite you all to see gender equality not just as a goal, one goal that have to get to a point, but just a progress that we need to be flexible enough to adapt it to other challenges that came up. So why this is for me so important? Because this came from globalization. Globalization is not a consolidated project. Globalization is a work in progress. We don't have, we say that it's global institution, there are international institutions. We have engaged to a global authority. And that's why it's so important, so for the meantime, that we could establish global rules without committing interference with what is the local adaptation to those rules. And this had to be the goal. The goal is to be global, to integrate all the traditions, all cultures, and it's not just one. And SDG 5 is an altruistic goal. However, it fails on what is to reconciliate with this ideological difference, especially in what is gender equality. There are parts of gender equality, groups that are ideologically in favor of gender equality, and there are others that use it in ideological, political, partisan purposes. And this is very manipulative and it's extremely dangerous for the own goal to get into equality. And because if you see it, if you will continue going in this path, we are going, the idea is to erase, for example, the Muslim religions. If you see the debate about the burqa, for example, you see that there is a confrontation. We have a conflict. There is one religion against others. So this is a different agenda that is mixed with gender equality. But we need to be certain of what is our goal and what is what we really wanted to achieve. If you please unmute, I will be very grateful. Gender equality. What wrongly invite us to do this goal? Well, it invites us to standardize the concept, to prioritize what is equality in just one concept. That's why this 50-50 doesn't allow conciliation of any kind. But if we see in terms of what is individual freedom, not all the women agree with the same. Theoretically, they will accept that, but not in practice. And I will go through this because I think it's absolutely key to be able to be enough ambitious, but at the same time, enough courage to say this is not what we really want. So we need to avoid, for my idea, to standardize, to create a standard, a goal that is above all, above any religions, and we all agree. Because that's something that we are doing exactly the contrary of what is the SDGs, leaving no one behind. We are going to leave whole groups, whole movements, and whole religions if we do this. Think of this, managing priorities. Think of different women, different cultures, different religions, and these priorities. Pregnancy, course, especially with the elderly and families, children, and the community engagement. It's proven that the women engage more in voluntary activities than men because they have more time or because it's just part of their nature. So we cannot avoid these priorities. If we go, as we did before, the 50-50, we have to jump and skip what is the priorities. And we cannot have individual priorities that are out from what is a global priority. Global priority means, in terms of women, that we are able to suit the expectation of all the women, not just an agenda that is beyond us. So what happened when we have pregnancy, course, children, community engagement? What happened with all that priorities that women say no to professional life, or less, or part-time? So what means that? Well, we need to move forward through a new challenge. What is the true challenge? Productivity. That's the first. This is a challenge to the national economies. There are more women, there is more productivity. There is a possibility because it's not, in terms of numbers, we cannot get, they have to be more women in the marketplace. So work balance, how the women with all that priorities, how could work and still have an environment, a job environment, a work environment that keep them in balance. And then we have income. This affects their income, especially for the mothers that are single. And then well-being, just to be happy. A woman could be happy with all that priorities, and it is how we could support it, how we could back all that priority that I could advance you. My idea is very positive. It's absolutely positive, this engagement with women and using their nature to make the societies grow and become better. So let's go to some data that is always, I think is always illustrative. In terms of global data, we have women active 47%, and we have men active 72%. So globally, we could say that we are going to get a 50-50 on this. Why this is happening? Maybe because of that priorities, maybe because of tradition, or maybe because women are forced to. And this is the part that we need to interfere. This is the part that we could be intrusive, not on the other aspects. And I will give you an example. Japan is in the position, in the Global Gender Equality Index, is in the position 125 out from 146. That is the last one. On the first place is Iceland. That is the best one. However, seeing that, we could see that in terms of unemployment, we have a 3% in Japan, and in Iceland, 2%. You see, that is very short. You know how much we need to reflect on that? And in Japan, women spend 5 times more in course than men. In Germany, it's 3 times more. So maybe we are not that different, and we need to go through a different angle of analysis. So what is for me a global or a national gender equality strategy? Because that's the conclusion after this. So this is the wall for me. This is a wall that we are struggling. We leave it freedom to each country in the national sovereignty, and we go global and we centralize the power, which I consider, and advanced that before, I consider it extremely dangerous. Definitely, for me, national strategy had to be first. We need to consolidate plans on gender strategies before the global. The global is part of the framework. And I will give you an example of how much important it is to land all the initiatives in a local perspective. When Kishida Fumio, that is the Prime Minister of Japan, announced a plan in the 2022 to invest in reskilling for those who are on parental leave to support the transition to the workforce, many housewives complained that they were already overloaded with domestic work. So they didn't want, they reject to be reskilling. So the local needs are different. Maybe you do that here in Europe, and the response would be much better. So we need to match what is this global agenda with this tradition. This is not even political, because from the political sector, they were promoting that. They were further the insertion. However, their individual freedom is telling no to this political initiative. So we need to when we sit down in the morning, and this is me, my croissant, my glasses, my coffee, and yes, you need to make sure what is media, what is general opinion, and what is your own reality, and especially us, that we could become micro-influencer, all of us, in what is women, what is all the debate on gender equality. We need to take into account what is in the context of the tradition, of the culture, religion, and of course, I separate it, but for me it's very important, individual freedom. And see the context of the historical and the conflict process that that country or that nation is going through. There is an agenda I am convinced day a day that there is an agenda in erasing religion, that they only have to be a religion to globalization. Globalization, which I think is the best way to democratize our system. However, we don't have to erase anything. We need to be skillful enough to have a strategy that would integrate all that sovereignties. Also, in terms of gender equality, that is a sovereignty in itself. So we need to become more tolerant, not less flexible. So leaving no one behind is also about that. It's also about personal choices. And then when we face the concept, and I wanted to be particularly strong on this, what is equity and what is equality? It's not necessary about equality, but we need to construct, it has to be in construction, this concept on equity. And the World Economic Forum, I think they make a description of that, a metaphorical description, and I think it's the best. If it's equality, we will have the same bicycle to make all one ride it. If we are in the concept of equity, we are going to have different bicycles, shorter, electrical, manual. We have different bicycles according to each one who rides it. That for me, that one is the one who in the end will build conciliation, We need to conciliate, not confrontation. Gender is not about creating more war that is already there. And if we create a super powerful judge, a centralized power in the United Nations, we are not going to be United Nations. We are going to have a bureaucratic institution that is leading the path of many others that disagree. And that will not serve as it should be, or for my idea, from my perspective, should be a global institution that is to become a catalyzer of all the focus that puts a new role for women empowered. Empowered is about individual freedom. So thank you so much for listening to my particular view and be so kind and generous for that. Thank you, Maggie.
Wow, I learned so much, Ma, that I even started making notes. That was fabulous. But first of all, I just started listening, and then I said, oh, you're just bringing up such important topics that are just relevant to all sectors all around the globe. And I just thought, and I started making notes, so that's good. But they were just, I really loved how you touch on, in the same speech on productivity, but also about happiness. It's just so easy to forget about such basics, about well-being, about our health, about happiness, when we just thinking only about producing something and we are not understanding what's lying underneath. So thank you very much for this. Okay, my next speaker is Phyllis Hyman. And Phyllis comes from United States, and Phyllis is USA Today bestselling author, featured speaker, coach, consultant in the public and private sectors, a member of the United Nations NGO Committee on Aging, presently embarking on a film project to raise awareness on how we value, care for, and treat the elderly. And the speech is about there is so much more to do. Thank you, Phyllis.
Thank you so much, Maggie. Is it, I'm having trouble sharing my screen. Can you bring up my slides? Is it possible? That would be phenomenal.
Okay, I don't think you uploaded them, but let me find them. Just give me a moment.
I thought I did. There are always technology issues, aren't there?
Give me a moment. You sent me yesterday, so I will just find them. Just give me a moment,
Okay,
please.
well, I can start because I don't want to delay everyone. And I'll start by saying, actually, that I think it's so poignant that I'm starting, my presentation where it all began, which was really inspired by my mother. And I really didn't think about the relevance of it until we got together this morning and started talking about International Women's Day. Thanks so much. So people have often asked me how I went from being a speech and language pathologist in nursing homes. I've worked in over 50 of them, over 50 years as well, to becoming an advocate. Well, let's go back to the first one. To being an advocate, thanks so much. To being an advocate and a spokesperson for the quality of care and quality of life for our eldest citizens, but also to becoming a coach for helping people embrace strategies to support their longevity journey in the best way possible. So as I said, I was inspired by my mother. So I'll just give you a brief background about that. She used to travel 2.5 hours several times a week to help care for her mother, who had Parkinson's and had fallen and had a broken hip. And she did this for about a year. I was in high school, and my parents were going to go on vacation, and they were trying to figure out what would be the best choice for my grandmother when my mother was away. So it seemed like to move her into a nursing home that was a few blocks away would be the best choice, where my mother could go from morning until evening to help care for her. And when they went on vacation, I filled in the gap of the hours when my mother was going to be there. And I really believe that that's the through line to my professional career working in nursing homes. So now we could go to the next slide, which I think that career really took me on this road to my advocacy. So I just want to trace a little bit of it. So my first 3 books, which are on top, the goal for those were to help people become more informed and effective advocates for their loved ones' care. And I bring, I believe, a valuable inside perspective from working in over 50 of those buildings, those environments, I should say. And I kind of wanted to pull back the curtain and reveal what people really needed to know when they were looking for care for themselves or for their loved ones. But in the process of that, I came to wanting a bigger impact, a bigger vision. And so that is really the basis of the chapter in the book, Think Big. So this big vision is this film project that Maggie mentioned. And it's based on 2 novels that really are about elder wisdom and wise leadership and the importance of generations working together and to work together and solve problems for communities, for countries, for societies, coming up with solutions based on wisdom and wise leadership and living so many years and how to impart that to a younger generation. And that's so important, what we're talking about today. And then it brings me to the next book. So that's a kind of a funny title, WTF to OMG with a little LOL. And when I was talking with the author about that book, it also stemmed from my youth, but this time from my father, who was diabetic and didn't always heed the advice of his doctors and my mother, and died suddenly when I was 17. And I realized that he really didn't take personal responsibility for his well-being. And in not doing so, he kind of not only failed himself, but he kind of failed us. And that really brought me to thinking about, I tied that to my work in nursing homes and how many people really wind up in a situation of ill health because maybe they could have made different choices, but they hadn't. And so that brought me to the coaching about well-being and wellness. And that's how that all kind of tied together. And then the last but not least is this book, Impact, which also came out of a conversation with someone. And that is really, we started talking about how healthcare heroes were stressed, overwhelmed, and stretched. And I said they were sending out kind of their SOS calls. And that really became the impetus for that chapter and helping people realize not only healthcare workers, but so many people are part of the sandwich generation, which I don't know how they talk about that in other countries, but in this country, in America, it's people who are sandwiched between job responsibilities, family responsibilities, and also caring for a loved one or older parent. And 71% of the 59 million people who are members of the sandwich generation fall between the ages of 40 and 59. And the impact that that has not only on their lives, their personal lives, but also productivity wise and on businesses is huge. So that became the impetus for that chapter. And in all of this process, I realized that in my 7th decade of life, I have found passion and purpose that is giving me a renewed vitality and energy. And I realized how important that is to continue to live with joy and with energy at any age. And so that has become, a hallmark of really what I'm coaching when I work with people who are, I'd say, 50 and above, and especially women, because so many women really fall into these categories. So where did where did this lead? You could go to the next slide. So this led to my empathy project. And when I talk about those SOS calls, so these not only healthcare workers, but family members and people who are stressed, overwhelmed, and stretched, I came up with this word and I trademarked it, and it's about all the wellness pillars that go into self-care and self-kindness and self-compassion, whether it's mindfulness and exercise and nutrition and sleep and appreciation. And who is going to answer that call? We have to answer that call for ourselves. And women are really at the foundation of not only families, but of caring in not only in healthcare environments, but in so many ways. It's part of our DNA. Life begins within us. And so, but we often feel that we have to take care of everyone else and we forget about taking care of ourselves. So the next slide really talks about where this all led ultimately. And Maggie, we could go to the next one, which is about combating ageism. So it's not only for society, but for ourselves, because older people are often marginalized, disregarded, kind of told to retire, live segregated, go live someplace where you can feel comfortable and live out your remaining years and enjoy your life. And whether we realize it or not, we really all participate in an ageist society in one way or another. We love the older people that in our lives, maybe in our families, but maybe also in our communities, in our places of worship. But as a society, we don't hold older people, especially in this country, in high regard or treat them with the dignity and respect that they deserve. Mahatma Gandhi said the true measure of any society can be found in how it treats its most vulnerable members. And especially in this country, I don't think we do a great job of that. And coming from this long-term care space where I see so many people who are not living with passion and with purpose, and they can, that really just contributes to a lack of caring for how you continue to live, right? So that's where that comes from. And then that really led me on to the next stage, and literally a stage, Maggie, which was my TEDx talk. And that really, the concept for that grew out of, culminated in everything that I've talked about so far. And I came up with this concept that we're all evolving elders. And if we could get people from the youngest of ages to think of themselves as an evolving elder, that when they look at an older person, they realize that they were once part of them. And that as a young person, this is what they're striving for. Just like you strive to become a senior in high school or a senior in college, or, have seniority at a firm, or, become a senior partner, or, have seniority at a job, or climb the highest summits like Mount Kilimanjaro or Mount Everest. These are all summits to be exalted and appreciated and strive for. So if we can think of the aging journey as something we're looking forward to, years of wisdom, in other societies, as we all well know, and cultures, older people are really valued and respected. In Japan, since 1966, I believe it is, the third Monday in September is a national holiday for valuing older adults, and it's called Respect for Aged Day. And it values centenarians. It originally started to thank the eldest in the community for their contributions to society, to learn and learn from them and their experiences. And Native Americans value older adults, and many cultures and religions actually seek out elders for their wisdom and wise counsel. And this is something that I think as a global community, we have to concentrate on. And that's why it's so important to me to be a member of the United Nations NGO Committee on Aging, because that is really an important philosophy of what we're striving for. And then, last but not least, I'm, as the ambassador for Conscious Aging Life Management, I assume responsibility for coaching people to develop what I call their longevity wellness action plan, so they can embrace strategies, so they can continue to live as healthfully and gracefully as they possibly can. But I'm assuming a role as an international spokesperson for elder empowerment, and hoping that people can see as they age, they continue to find their passions and purpose, and continue to live with joy and energy, and not only gracefully, but contribute to society, every community, in their highest level possible. And they can only do that if they embrace wellness and embrace the fact that they're aging, and not think of it as a dreaded decline, but more as an exalt to the summit. So I hope you all can appreciate and can bring to this conversation anything that you find that's relevant about the older people in the countries where you live, in your communities, and take some of this information and move it forward to the people in your lives and the people with whom you work, so that we can have a more expanded view on how we view older people and the value that they have to all of us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Felice. I'm just wow. That was such a inspiring, beautiful, beautiful speech. There were just two things that struck me. One, usually younger generations, probably what I've noticed, not paying that much attention to the older ones, because technology changes, so many things changes, and they know, oh yeah, it's different world. Oh, you were born last century. What would you know about what's happening now? And it's just so amazing just to be learning and enriching each other's lives, rather than each generation living by themselves. So thank you. That was.
Can I just comment on something you said?
Yeah.
It's true, because we can all push a button and learn something from the internet, right? Whatever search engine you use. But the richness of the experience is really conveyed by the person who lived it, and can really convey that meaning in a much different way.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you so much. That was really, really inspirational and much needed to be heard on the day. So thank you once again.
Thank you.
So now we go to Kubra. Thank you. Now we go to Kubra. Kubra is from Belgium, and she's a spiritual artist, coach, and astrologer dedicated to guiding the individual towards the highest and fullest potential. Kubra is on a mission to inspire, empower you to embrace your inherent worth and to live authentically. And her speech has a title, Architects of Change, Women Leading Society's Transformation. Thank you, Kubra.
Thank you, Maggie. And Felice, it was a very nice speech. Thank you, Mara, as well. Well, I'm super excited right now because for me, as you can understand from the title, it is not just a day, or it's not just a speech, but it is like we all are today becoming a lighthouse for someone else. Hopefully, this speech, all those speeches we give here today, will help someone about something. But let's start. And as Maggie introduced me, thank you so much. I'm Kubra, and what I'm doing is basically reconnecting with my self-worth and accompanying others who relate with the same emotions, basically. Well, and it's a real pleasure to be here with you today. Well, I have a question. I want to start with a question. We all are here for a reason, not just to speak up or listen to, but also to be aware of who we actually are and to see what we are capable of. Yet, I want you to ask yourself the question that, what is your reason for being here at the personal level? Because if we attend an event, if we just watch TV or read something, we all have an expectation from that. So I want you to become aware of what is your expectation from today's event, or today, specifically the International Women's Day. Because as I mentioned in the beginning, there are beautiful souls. I think that it started in the United States, and they started a revolution. So we are following their lead, those amazing women, basically. And anyone who has answer, please comment to the chat, or you can just chill out and take an internal process. It's also okay. And when I asked myself why I wanted to speak on International Women's Day, when I told dear Maggie, our England region chair who organized the event, I wanted to speak today, I had one important thing in mind. Well, my answer was, I want to be a lighthouse and spread my message to the ones who needs to hear it. And if we are here today, together in this holographic reality, it means you should hear what I'm going to share today, because there must be an energetic alignment between us, right? So let's begin. And for ages, we were not schooled, not allowed to become a part of society, forced to become stay-at-home women, and many other things that we can't even count here today. It will take too long, I guess. And there are millions of women who are still not fully aware of their magical powers, and they are living under those circumstances that were limited by the patriarchal point of view. And me included, I'm not fully aware of my full potential, and I don't think anyone would be until they're alive. There is more to discover and to share. So some women were convinced they were only here to give birth and feed and take care of. And yes, we have that part of us. And this is so amazing. I love it. Yet, it is not the all. We have a lot more to discover, to share, to serve. So we have a duty to be a lighthouse for other women, whether they find their path or not. We should lead the way to show them that they are here for more. And it's an honor to talk to today's and futures leaders today to you. And but I know that we are not there yet. We have a lot of people to reach. We have a lot to transform within ourselves. And today, slowly, we are starting to understand that we are capable of, and what we are capable of, and step into alignment with our nature. This is why in 10 years, the business models will completely change from the spiritual point of view. So it's not a statistical work that I'm representing here today to you, but in 10 years, the business models will completely change, and the current system will not take care of retired people, etc., like it used to do. Because in astrological point of view, we are in the Pluto Aquarius age, and this brings a lot of transformation in our current systems. So when we look at the history and see what happened astrologically in similar times, what we see is also what I can relate to. A lot of change is waiting for us in the next couple of decades, basically. Well, the difference with this change is that we will not be the ones who adapt to it, but rather who lead this revolution as women, and not just the women, also men who are connected with their feminine source, because as you know, as men and women, we all have feminine and masculine sides within us, and if we connect with one part of ourselves, the either feminine or masculine, then we can use that power in a constructive way. So this is why we need to understand what chaos is and how to navigate through chaotic times. So we also need to accept that as feminine beings, we have a chaotic nature. There are dualities we can talk about, and that are chaotic and unpredictable and like linear, not linear, actually. With the age of Aquarius until 2043, we will learn reactivating that chaos, aka the feminine power, so we can see those polarities, we can cultivate the polarities such as chaos and linearity, matriarchy and patriarchy, femininity and masculinity, and collaboration and competition. Those are the terms that are opposite, that creates polarity. Yet with the Aquarius age, we actually cultivate them both, and we will learn how to unite those qualities. So as I mentioned earlier, revolution comes with chaos. So if you look into any change in the history, a great leader comes and takes the lead in the middle of the chaos, make decisions, then after the chaos ends, assign the rest of the things that has to be done to the masculine. Even if you look at ancient Egypt, when things went wrong, they at the beginning of the patriarchal system, actually, they summon a women pharaoh and to govern, and then after the chaos again, chaos ends, a masculine power took the seat. Why is it like that? What we supposed to understand from this? As I mentioned, chaos is in the nature of femininity. And this is why, as feminine beings, we have difficulty if we are fully connected to our feminine power, if we really live in a phase that is connected to that power, we have difficulty to fit in this system, which we shouldn't do actually. But the more we try to fit in the patriarchal system, we lose our connection with the feminine side. What we see is we lose creativity and we limit our talents, we limit our power to rule, to create, to multifunction in any times. Even being a multifunctional being is coming from this chaotic nature. So as women, what we're supposed to do is basically reconnecting with our nature, which means we actually fully understand and embrace this chaos instead of trying to put ourselves in a linear-based system. But as I mentioned earlier, like with the chaotic nature, we love collaboration, like we are doing here today. We love collaboration, and we don't like competition. By competing with other women, we don't actually rise or like shine and thrive through our chaotic nature. So understanding those differences will help us to go through this phase in during the Pluto Aquarius age. So basically, understanding and honoring our talent to lead will help us to embrace our very own nature, and that is how we can show up, basically. Women have a cyclical and chaotic nature. That is what makes us better leaders. So because we know the nature of the chaos, not just the chaos itself, but we know the nature. This is why when it's chaotic, we know what to do. We can see things in detail, we can find solutions, and we, even physically, we can bear with tough times easily than many other people, let's say. So as we are very close to big changes in history, and this is going to be in a chaotic way, what we can do is understanding that chaotic side of ourselves and see that as an opportunity, because only the leaders can lead the chaos as they know the nature of it. And this is how we can make revolution in our own, like, personal history as well. Well, what I would like to end my words with is basically every woman, each woman is a lighthouse, and their light is coming from their chaotic beings. And just by understanding and embracing that chaotic nature of ourselves, we can lead and construct and like become the architectures of first our own lives and then the societies, because we are the ones who create the human nature, human beings. So we are the mother of the humanity. And just by understanding this, whatever we serve, this will rise. And today, what we are experiencing all across the world is basically the women who were convinced that they are less than what they actually are. So I hope that as of today, or these days, after these days, we all can connect with our own nature and like show up as who we are in an authentic way, freely. Thank you so much for listening to me. I see some comments. Thank you for all the comments. Yeah. Voila. Yeah.
Thank you, Kubra. That was amazing. And even the way of you delivering it, we all could have seen how much it meant to you. And it was just amazing to watch and listen. Thank you. I really like what you said, that we are lighthouses for others, especially those ones who undervalue their presence or their worth in modern society. But also I really loved, and I made note of it, I put from inner chaos to love, embracement, and understanding. So that was a powerful one as well. I loved it. Thank you. I'm sure we all did. So thank you, Kubra, once again. Thank you. Okay, our next lovely speaker is Jitendra Srivastava from India. So our only man defend the women's rights. So thank you for being here with us. Jitendra is award-winning human resources leader and consultant, global speaker, winner of multi-international awards, women human rights defender, he for she champion, member of G100 Global Advisory Council. And his speech title is Women are the Real Architects of Society. Thank you. We cannot hear you, Jitendra.
Okay, thank you. So today is 8th March.
Today is 8th March and the world is celebrating International Women's Day, a day to acknowledge the social, economic, cultural and political achievements of women. But I think it should also be a reminder for men that they should be double grateful to women, first for giving life itself and then for making it meaningful. In keeping with today's significance, I chose Women are the Real Architects of Society as my topic, which is in fact a quote by Harriet Beecher Stowe, who was a world-renowned American writer, staunch abolitionist, and one of the most influential women of the 19th century. So I thought this will be an appropriate title for my talk today. Someone said that a woman is like a tea bag. You never know how strong it is until it is in hot water. Unfortunately, we took it way too seriously as we continue testing the strength and patience of women in our lives every day. As we all know, women play an integral role in society. They are the backbone of families and are crucial to the growth and development of communities. Yet, for centuries, women have been relegated to the sidelines, subjected to discrimination and marginalization. And in recent years, however, there has been a growing awareness of the importance of women in society. A survey by one of the Indian recruitment portals revealed that most of the working women feel that they are not considered for top management roles. This is further cemented by the data, which suggests that only 3% of women are at the top positions in the Indian corporates. The political representation of women in parliament is just about 14%. Female students spend lesser years in school as compared to male students. It's clear from the above data that the Indian women get fewer economic opportunities than men. India is predominantly rural, and in rural areas, women are mostly responsible for the household work and are not provided with proper education or opportunities to work and earn. Even in urban India, where there are many women who are educated and join the workforce, the growth opportunities are bleaker when compared to men. The major reason is that most of the women take a break in their careers during pregnancy or in the formative years of their kids. They often take more leaves than men for maternity and child care, and even the health care of other family members. Factors like these push them back in their careers, further widening the already existing pay gap. Also, society has expected them to be less ambitious than males. There is, however, silver lining since a study by IMF estimated that equal participation of women in the workforce will increase India's GDP by 27%. It's time we realize the importance of gender equality and start working towards providing equal opportunities to women. The encouraging fact is that more than ever before, today's young women have more choices and control in their lives. The fostering of a woman's self-worth and decision-making power is important so that she has complete control over her own life inside and outside the home. Education has played a major role in giving the women knowledge, skills, and self-confidence necessary to become independent. The young and energetic women of our society are leaving no stone unturned to prove themselves to the world, and despite many hurdles are achieving more than their male counterparts. Today, India has the highest number of female pilots in the world. They comprise 12.4% of pilots in major airlines. No other country has ever surpassed the mark of 10%. Female Female millennials are becoming a larger part of the workforce as they are more career confident and career ambitious than the generations gone before them. Working women mostly work double shifts. It's amazing to see working mothers who are juggling work and life in a very well played symphony. This, however, does not belittle the importance of the homemakers. Homemakers have unfailingly proved to be better and bigger multitaskers than anyone else. Margaret Thatcher, one of the prime ministers of UK, rightly said once that any woman who understands the problems of running a home will be nearer to the understanding the problems of running a country. The Indian government has taken significant and praiseworthy measures to empower women by providing them with various opportunities to achieve economic independence and enhance their quality of life. The government has initiated several schemes for women in India to ensure their safety and well-being and promote their social and economic empowerment. The various government schemes for women in India are part of the government's broader initiatives for the care and security of women in our society. These schemes are focused on providing women with financial assistance, healthcare, education, and skill development, among other things. The theme for IWD 2024 is Invest in Women, Accelerate Progress. Governments around the world are playing a crucial role in achieving this goal, and India is no exception. Several government schemes aim to empower future generations of women by addressing key challenges they face. Let us explore some of these initiatives. Education and skill development. In the area of education and skill development, we have the Save the Girl, Educate the Girl campaign. This flagship scheme aims to improve the child sex ratio and ensure access to education of girls. Stand Up India is another initiative. This initiative provides loans and support to women entrepreneurs, encouraging them to set up businesses and become financially independent. Then we have Skill India Mission. This mission focuses on equipping women with industry relevant skills, making them more employable and competitive in the job market. In the area of safety and security, we have one-stop center scheme. These centers offer integrated support to women affected by violence, including medical aid, legal assistance, and counseling. We have a woman helpline, 181. This 24/7 helpline provides immediate assistance to women in distress, connecting them with relevant services and authorities. We have lady police volunteers, and these volunteers raise awareness about women's safety and work with police to ensure the security in public spaces. In the area of financial inclusion and entrepreneurship, we have Girl Prosperity Plan. This scheme encourages parents to save for their daughters' futures by offering attractive interest rates and tax benefits. Then we have the Prime Minister's Monetary Plan. This scheme provides easy access to loans for women, micro entrepreneurs, enabling them to start and grow their businesses. We have the Mahila Shakti Kendra or Women's Power Center. These centers act as one-stop shops for women, providing them with information and support on various government schemes and initiatives. These schemes are crucial steps towards building a future where women have equal opportunities and can reach their full potential. However, continuous monitoring and evaluation are essential to ensure their effective implementation and reach the intended beneficiaries. Additionally, addressing societal biases and promoting gender equality in various spheres is equally important for sustainable change. By investing in the future of women, today we can create a more inclusive and prosperous society for everyone. I will sign off with a poem I found on internet, highly relevant for today. The title is International Women's Day and the author is not known, but obviously written by a woman. Today is a celebration for women all around the world, ladies who have dared to dream big ever since they were little girls. For the diversity and talents that lie within a feminine heart, for the courage and determination that prevents us falling apart. We can raise families and build businesses and be proud of all we have achieved, where once over visions of that scale could never have been believed. Ladies, stand up and be counted, smile at how far we have come, and cherish every single day as daughter, wife, companion, or mom. Don't let anybody tell you that there are set paths for you to follow. As a little girl with passion is an inspiring woman of tomorrow. So celebrate all women and acknowledge the great things they do, and tell a lady close to your heart just how much she means to you. Thank you. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Jitendra. You know, it was just so meaningful, especially that you decided to share with us your wisdom words, having your family by yourself. So you not only, you know, loving father and, you know, and a husband, but you embracing all of us at this event. So once again, you know, a huge thank you. I really loved what you said about, it was so interesting about that women are perceived as less ambitious, but then you said everything about how women stand out these days. And also it's quite sad that maybe some people may think that because someone is not working, it means that they are less valuable, because at the same time they do so much around families, around our houses. But thank you for bringing up all the statistics and sharing the wisdom from India with us. So much appreciated once again. Thank you. Mar, did you want to say something?
Very, very short, Anita, please do forgive me. Just one second in relation to what was wonderful, always wonderful speech from Jitendra. Housewife, you know. We don't need, for gender equality, we don't need to erase what housewife. It could be the pillar of a family. It could be the pillar and the point of reference for many members of the family that really need someone who is not out in an office working 8 hours, but is working for the family. So also I think it's a recognition of all those women that work for the families. Just that. Sorry, Anita. Just.
Well spotted. Thank you, Ma. No, that was much needed for us to hear as well. So thank you, Jitendra, once again. So now my next speaker is Anita Shukla. Our Anita Shukla comes from Germany, and she's seasoned strategy consultant, senior corporate trainer, executive coach, advisor and author, specialist in technology, business development, international technology recruitment, and cross-culture management. And today, the speech she's going to treat us to is about technology and AL. There you go, Anita. Thank you.
Thank you so much, dear Maggie. Thanks so much. Thank you in English and dziękuję Polish. Yeah, dhanyavad in Hindi. So, starting my presentation. So today I would like to talk about how to think big, like for more possibilities, for change, for more pay, yeah, for developing oneself. No? Thinking big with tech and AI on International Women's Day. And on the first slide, you can see like the motto "Women in Tech." You can see GINSEP, which is the German-Indian network in the startup sense. And on the right-hand side, you can see a publication on India EU with many women experts in the respective countries. So I wanted to highlight that we all know something, and we all contribute to so many like wonderful things. I found it really great today that we were also valuing our ancestors, our mothers and grandmothers, and so many wonderful mothers and grandmothers we have. I was thinking of my two very brave grandmothers also in Germany, Europe, so to speak, and India likewise. Yeah. So, yeah, some thoughts on this topic. I will start with the status quo, so to speak, coming back to my last presentation on gender equality, but a bit broader picture, not only Germany, but Europe. So the Gender Equality Index 2023, as mentioned before, that gives the EU and member states a score from 1 to 100, and like 100 would mean fully equality between women and men in a country. Just in short, I happily can share the presentation later. In the EU, it's in the average 70.2 out of 100. Sweden is leading from the data I have, yeah, at 82.2. Gender Equality Index in the UK, because Maggie, you're hosting us from UK, so I wanted to give some info on UK as well, also later in the presentation. 72.7 in March 2022. There was EU Gender Equality Strategy 2025 published, and interesting publication from that year on Gender Equality Index 2022, Digitalization and the Future of Work. Some notes on Germany. Gender Equality Index in 2023 was 70.8 with a slight plus. And we also have a gender equality strategy from the same year, 2022. The gender pay gap in Germany last year was 18%. I think this year is still 18%. The gross salaries for women, like average 20.84 like euros, and for men 25.30 euros per hour. There's a publication on the Road to Equal Pay for Women and Men from 2022, and also to highlight Gender Equal Pay Award. This will be in summer this year again, and there's a certification for fair pay, even a German startup by Henriette von Platen. The Equal Pay Day was just recently, like 6th of March this year. And the motto was, it's high time for equal pay. Yeah? So for me, what's very, very, very important is that not only there should be like decent wages, decent pay, this is clear, but there should be enough pay, and there should be good payment, and that women aim high. Yeah? Everybody should, and women also should. So on gender equality and AI in the EU, the Advisory Committee on Equal Opportunities for Women and Men had an opinion on AI, artificial intelligence, on opportunities and challenges for gender equality, and that was published in 2022. The Global Gender Gap Report 22 by World Economic Forum said that female workers make up of 26% of workers in data and AI roles globally, and only 17% of ICT specialists in the EU are women, even though women-led entrepreneurial startups are more likely to be successful. And globally, women make up 12% of AI researchers from the data I have. So status quo currently, and they hold around 20% of technical positions within the major machine learning or AI companies, represent 18% of authors attending leading AI conferences, and only 3 of 68 Turing Award winners, Alan Turing, yeah, the equivalent of the Nobel Prize for Computer Science, were women. The part of the population who currently shapes and designs AI systems is very narrow, and there's a clear underrepresentation of women. This is what's today, no? But there are many things to change. AI has the potential to reshape the global economy and notably labor markets. It will impact around 60% of jobs. There's a IMF application, International Monetary Fund, Gen AI, Artificial Intelligence and the Future of Work from this year, 2024, that women, older workers, and those with higher education, without higher education, they're more affected. This is what I talked about in my previous talk. But there are many benefits for AI for women also. So access to education, to upskilling. So upskilling and reskilling is needed. And women need to be very active, they need to be mobile, and they need to be tech savvy. And this is stated, it has been for many years, like from McKinsey in 2019, and in a more recent UNESCO publication, The Effects of AI on the Working Lives of Women. So connectivity and access to data will be crucial job requirements, and women should have the ability to implement, use, and manage AI and other tech systems. I'm just giving some examples of high salaries in tech in Germany from last year. So you can see computer system analyst earning, in average, of course, male, female, 51,500 euros, up to like project directors, almost 70,000 euros, yeah, or IT security specialist, 73,500,000, or UX designers, yeah, user interface designers, and so on. So you can earn good money as a technical expert, male and female. Yeah. But there's so many other possibilities to have a good income connected with tech and AI. Through upskilling, through finding right partners, to do a lifelong learning. For example, as female employees, as specialists, researchers, as freelancers, as interim workers, so combining like work and life or other challenges mentioned before, like family duties or so, solopreneurs, founders, or even co-founders with men and women. So you can be a founder and a co-founder with another woman, with a man, like other co-founders, and maybe be even more successful. You combine your strengths, you combine your skills sets as entrepreneurs. And a combination of tech and special skills will, I think, lead to success in important topics like cybersecurity, ethics, sustainability, health, education. Think of like education for children or women's health, yeah, sustainability, women in AI, ethics. This group is growing, and you need your niches there also. So AI can also do good. If you be acquainted with AI for Good by the UN, so AI for good purposes. Yeah, maybe we have some concepts of artificial intelligence, how it looks like and who is working in it and what it does and so, but it can do maybe so much more. So I'm saying start with why. Maybe you have heard of Simon Sinek and his golden circle. So start with the why of your work and as an entrepreneur of your business. And with this golden circle, like you have a circle. In the middle, you have the why. And on another level in the middle, right in the center, you have the why. Then you have the how you do it. And then you have what you do for your work, for in your life, yeah, for your mission, for what you want to do, and for your life, and for your work, of course, as an entrepreneur, for example, and find your niche there. And for entrepreneurs, you can adapt your business model innovation, and there are publications on that with the same title, or with Business Model U for solopreneurs and freelancers. And think of what a more digital model, or with changing things and like putting more innovation in it, can help you. So this is what I want to add to our session here. Think big, find role models. Yeah, I'm giving some keywords here. Femtech, so focusing on women's health. Yeah, so Femtech is doing this. Women's needs here. Yeah, so of course women know women, so they can contribute to that in a very meaningful and so important way. And think of role models, women leaders for VUCA world. We talked about like chaotic circumstances or chaos, yeah. And women can, as women leaders in particular, can deal with chaos and help navigate the chaos, yeah. So the VUCA world, I think it's known volatile, uncertainty, complex and ambiguous world. Yeah. And if you think of role models like women at Davos and so on, and this group is also growing so much. Yeah, just like some examples to give. Yeah, and so what's so important for me that you think of aiming high and getting good pay and feel good about earning much. And have a good life, you and your loved ones also. Yeah? So that's my mission about it today. Yeah. So I'm sharing some networks in EU, Germany, UK, US, globally. So of course, we have a very strong network. It's clear, yes, but you have 100 sectors with so many great women with their expertise and like their sectors, yeah. Also in technology, Women Tech Network is from US, but women are there globally. Women AI Robotics in Germany, women in AI, they're everywhere in the world. And a couple of German networks like Digital Media Women, Modern World, Women Tech Makers, of course, by Google. So studies and training, coming back to UK, the Alan Turing Institute, there's a list of training courses and like initiatives. Yeah? Then in Germany, you have Plattform Lernende Systeme, AI Campus, Women AI Academy, Open HPI, SAP, yeah? And you have in UK, for example, the Google Digital Garage and the Zukunftswerkstatt, you call it in Germany, yeah. So plenty of possibilities there, yeah. Just to list a few, yeah. And so important, the networks, and just start somewhere, for example, with G100, yeah. And aim high. That's what I wanted to say. Yeah. And some more events to come from global networking, and looking forward to that. Looking forward to connecting with you and reconnecting with you. So much great impact today has been talked about. Yes, for example, with the elderly. Yeah, so I was just following that today even. Yeah. So yeah, so much from my side. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Anita. Thank you so much. There are just so many people who are afraid of technology, but it's just so important to be reminded how much life can be easier for us if we start learning overcome our fears and really learning how to use it in order to help us and our and our communities. So thank you for this.
I just wanted to say thank you, especially for your message about aiming high. I think that's so important for all people to embrace, but especially women. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you, Anita. And also thank you very much for reminding us the golden circle. It's just so easy to forget as well. Sometimes just kind of like overlook it and not thinking about it. But sometimes just such basics are really, really great to be reminded of. So thank you.
I was addressing all women. I was just trying to have somehow the entrepreneur in the center. Say the creator in the center. We're all creators. Yeah, architects, so to speak. Yeah.
Exactly. No, it just I feel so, I don't know how you feel, but I feel so calm and enhanced and blessed of having a pleasure of hearing you out. I just wanted to just go around and ask all of you how you feel, and maybe just mention what you all learned from today, because we are not only inspiring the public, we're inspiring ourselves, but sharing our own hearts with everyone. So, Phyllis, would you like to be first, just to say how you are and what, I don't know, golden nugget from today, perhaps?
So you already touched on something. I feel such a sense of calm and emotional strength from everyone that I heard. There was one fact that I didn't know that I was thrilled to learn, Jihandra, and that was the number of pilots in India that are women. I think that's an extraordinary fact, an extraordinary piece of information for people to know, because we do certainly think of it as a male-dominated profession, right? And it, I wonder how people would think being, flying on a plane, if they would feel. It would be an interesting survey to me, what the results would be, how passengers would feel, if they would feel differently, whether it was a man or a woman pilot flying the plane. Seems like that would be interesting to me. But I love the, women empowering themselves and understanding their worth. And Mar, what you said about, women are the foundation, but life begins in us. And so therefore we are really the pillars of life, not just of societies, but of life itself. And I think that it's too often forgotten.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Ma, would you like to add a few things? Would you like to share how you feel and what inspired you perhaps the most today?
It's always, thank you, Maggie. It's always inspired to be in each of our events, all and each of them. They're all we learn from even a detail, add to repeat the concept. This is for me what is about gender equality, what is about women empowerment, to make sure we are moving in different expertise, in different, as it happened today, from US to India to Europe. So we could move from different geographical areas and different mindsets. And for me, it makes you ask me how I feel. I feel happy. I feel fulfilled to be able to continue further in this kind of meetings. And so thank you, Maggie, for taking the initiative and with courage saying, yes, I am there. I am there to unite people, and we need to be open. The more we advance on what is gender equality, the more we need to be open to listen to others' ideas and other folks. So thank you.
Thank you very much, and thank you once again for being our global leader and inspiring us and catering for us. So thank you. Jitendra, would you like to add a few things? How you feel, and perhaps what you like about the speeches the most?
Yeah, thank you. I have got golden nuggets from all of you. Local, gender, equity and equality instead of global from Mar. Lighthouse from the internal chaos from Kubra. And the aging, appreciating the age and not cursing it from Phyllis. And of course, the AI details from Manita. So I'm carrying with me many good pieces of learnings. And as far as my personal goal is concerned, I'll continue to stand with girls and women in their fight for equality. And this United Nations theme of invest in women, accelerate progress. I would like to say that investing in women is not the right thing to do. It is a smart choice for our shared future. So that's how I would sum up this neatly.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Anita, how you feel and what golden nuggets did you get for yourself?
First thing, of course, I learned something, but there's more to that. Emotionally, I got inspiration by all the talks, and it touched me. All the talks touched me emotionally because of our our shared topic, but from different angles. Yeah, where women are creators or doers in this sense. Yeah, and I love the part on what women before us did. Yeah, in our families, or like real relatives and felt relatives. Yeah, they're also there, like role models and so on, and advocates, of course, for women's rights and so on, male and female. Yeah. Many topics touch me personally, with caring for elderly and also seeing the potential of elders and their wisdom and so on. This is nothing new to me. This is so important for me also, taking care of oneself and then giving strength to others. Equality, equity, starting where you are, not only thinking theoretically. Yeah, and seeing developments happening all over the world. This is wonderful. Also the different localities where we are. I love that so much. And I wanted to give a little bit input, also trying to touch on these. Yeah. So let's continue. Let's think of G100 as a strong network to take things further, I would say. Yeah. And let's stay connected, all of us.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm just looking at all of you and I just keep smiling. I'm just so thrilled that I had you and the lovely speeches. And yes, the connection that we're making is just amazing. So thank you. Thank you, Anita. What about you, Kubra? How you feel and anything else you would like to share with us?
Thank you, Maggie, and everyone. I feel like I'm not alone. We're not alone. It was great to see that there are a lot of people, a lot of beautiful soul who is working for the same cause. So I think pretty much everyone mentioned the points that we like. I totally agree with those points, with everyone's speech. And thank you for organizing and being here together. It's a real pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you once again. So let me sum all up by saying cheers to the incredible women and men who continue to break barriers, inspire change, and shape the world around them. As we celebrate the strength and resilience of women around the world, may we continue to uplift, empower, and support each other. Happy Women's Day, everyone. And bye for now. Thank
Bye-bye.
you very much.
Take care. Have a good weekend.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.